What up? It's your boy T-Bear and reaction. Today's Films Friday. Now it's time for the main event of Films Friday, which is the Dead Meat Kill Count. Now we are in the week of the Scream recount, though, so we're going to do Scream 2. Now I kind of had an idea originally that I was going to try to do all the rest of the Scream recounts leading up to the day where as Scream 6 comes out, but didn't happen. So we're going to continue going the way I originally planned as well too, though. When I stuck into the circle of things, with my reaction, I will return to the poll soon. For now, I'm doing mostly I'm doing mostly the Scream recount, the Stranger Things, and everything else, and Strange Thing and the Alien Predator. As you know, next week will be. I do Alien 2? I did. Last week I did see Strange Things. So next week I will be returning to the Alien Predator as we check out Predator, as that is the chronicle order of after Aliens as well too. Then we do Predator 2, and after we do Alien 3. So anyway, but we are here at the recount Scream week, though, and we're checking out Scream 2. Now, out of all the Screams I watched through all the Screams, I feel like this is the one I watched the most. Because actually, to be honest, at the time when this first Scream came out, I wasn't like really into horror. I was like, it felt a lot of horror as well at the time as well too. Wasn't into it, or I thought I didn't know why. I became a chicken. Well, then I slowly get into horror, but at the time I was like, I heard about this and then watched it until I finally watched 2. Because at the time, 2 was playing a lot on pay-per-view at the time. My mom and my folks had the pay-per-view and everything, and I was watching it and I got hooked, and then I went back to Scream 1 to watch it, and then I didn't watch 3, so I started getting a collection and everything as well too. And just funny, and lo and behold, let's let you know, I do have a collection of these as well too. I got a collection of these. The Scream as well as Nightmare on Street 1, but yeah, Scream 2 is like out of all of them the most one I watched the most, and at the time Scream 1 had a lot of up and coming actors who became actors and actresses who became well known through the years. This one has a lot of star power in this one as well too, whether you was part of the series or had a small little stint in the beginning, Jada and Omar. But other than that, though, it was so star-studded that they had a section in the magazine for the women of Scream as well too, as well as they made some stuff for the men of Scream as well too. A lot of it catapulted Scream to being where it is right now as well too as the franchise. I think this might have been a bigger hit out of all the Screams. So anyway, without further ado, we want to check out Scream 2 Kill Count recount. Scream 2 came out in 1997. Let's get it. Hold on a second. I had to check on the little guy real quick. But anyway, let's get it.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Scream 2, released in 1997. With the first Scream a runaway hit, Dimension Films was eager for a sequel. Luckily, screenwriter Kevin Williamson already had an outline for one. As a horror fan, he knew sequels were coming.
I still find it funny that the Scream was really called Scary Movie, and then ended up being the name for the parody of Scream, so that was interesting right there.
Even if they had a reputation of being bad. With most of the script developed before the first film had left theaters, Scream 2 quickly entered production and was released less than a year after the original. Scream 2 follows Sydney into college, where she's targeted by a copycat Ghostface. With an extra $10 million for the budget, the sequel features big-name stars and even bigger set pieces.
Every actress in town wanted to come into the second part of the series.
The crew was equally eager to return, from the casting director down to the prop master. Casting crew frequently called the set a family, led by their returning director daddy, Wes Craven. Production was rushed though, and faced constant rewrites on the fly. Look at all these script versions.
Wow.
Jeez. Some were done without Williamson, since he was busy showrunning Dawson's Creek. These stressful on-set revisions.
That explains why his like got that little team show feel to it though, that explains it though.
Were made because the original script leaked onto the internet. That pissed off Craven so bad, he sounded like
early days of internet leaking. This is when the internet was on the rise with AOL and all that, and folks were starting leaking shit back then. Wow.
Like me getting annoyed during a live stream.
All those you little fuckers out there that think that's really cute, you fucking ruin our next 3 months.
Despite the messy script caused by all the shifting plot points, there are a lot of fans who call Scream 2 their favorite Scream.
Yes.
I'm the opposite. It's probably my least favorite of the series. But thankfully, there ain't no such thing as a bad Scream. Scream 2 just feels the most drawn out to me, and the most repetitive when compared to the first one. Which, yes, I know is partly the point, but after a while, it starts to feel like when they did another trench run in Force Awakens. It also has some specific scenes that bother me. I can't let them go. But the movie's strengths are hella strong, like a lot of its new or promoted characters. It also introduces Stab, the fictional movie within a movie that allowed Williamson to get extra sequel-sized meta. The Stab movies become a runner in Scream, which is great. We wind up with a franchise within a franchise. Best of all, though, is the evolution of the three main characters and the individual relationships between each of them. Sidney Prescott in particular continues to make a case for my favorite character in all of horror. Here, she's the final girl who knows she's living through a sequel, bringing a perfect combination of vulnerability and resolve.
Stop treating me like glass, Dewey. I'm not gonna break.
Of course, the triad of her, Gal, and Dewey only works if everyone excels at their parts, and David Arquette and Courtney Cox continue to find fun folds in their characters. Wes Craven gets a lot of credit for crafting good scares, but he and the actors deserve just as much acclaim for these wonderful performances. They really bring an energy to their performances, just like today's sponsor, AG1 from Athletic Greens, brings an energy to my performance. Isn't that right, Fitness James? AG1 is a nutritional drink I have as part of my morning routine, and it really sets me up for the whole day, with nutrients and phytonutrients to maintain my energy levels and help me perform optimally. What's great is that it's NSF certified, the gold standard for athletes, which I am not in any sense of the word, but hey, still does me good. Now, admittedly, the taste isn't my favorite, but it's mild, and I think worth the benefits. Oh shit! Look out, Fitness James! Huh, I guess they just wanted some nutrients too. Lord. Support your health journey by clicking the link, where you'll get a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3K2 and 5 travel packs with your first purchase. Few sequels surpass the quality of the original, but maybe this one can surpass the quantity of kills. Let's find out and get to them. The movie begins like the first one, with a 90s actress about to watch a scary movie. Since we can't bury more Barrymores, Scream 2 brings in Jada Pinkett as college student Maureen. She and her boyfriend Phil are at the now-closed Rialto Theater in Pasadena, previously seen on the kill count in a dream scene in Nightmare 4.
Oh, snap! Okay, another Freddy nostalgia reference within Scream.
Place is getting Billy Castle up in this bitch. Red Right Hand plays as the crowd goes fucking nuts, like this were a midnight premiere at the Southgate MJR in the mid-2000s. They're here to watch Stab, an in-universe slasher based on the Woodsboro murders in the first film.
It's a true story. All these kids got killed a couple years ago in California.
But it's not just based on the events of Scream. It's shot like the OG Scream 2, except this psychosexual shower shot. You get more TNA when you have Heather Graham playing Facey Becker. Audiences would have just seen her in Boogie Nights a few months prior. Later, in Scream 4, we'll see Robert Rodriguez credited as Stab's director. But despite a popular misconception, these scenes were still directed by Wes Craven. Phil heads to the bathroom, where he can't get a dick in thanks to all the ghost faces. Before he can get a poopin' duet going in the stall, he hears some weird noises next door. Is that a little kid voice? What the fuck? In a frankly kind of stupid kill, he puts his ear right up to the nasty-ass stall wall, then gets stabbed in the head by a knife strong and long enough to puncture through.
I'm sorry, the way he sounded, that's how he sounded when he got stabbed, like, really? I don't know why it cracked me on the way he sounded like that.
Now Phil's cold and he is scared, lying dying on the floor. All thanks to Ghostface, secret knife agent, dun dun dun. Phil's death might be meta commentary on the whole black character dies first in a horror movie stereotype, but I've got a note, at least in kill count movies, I haven't seen that trope very often. The killer takes Phil's place next to Maureen, who's too scared of Casey's meta murder to notice the change in screamery. Some shoulder blood finally catches her attention, then a blade catches her in the gut. It's unnoticed by the theater goers, who are screaming their damn lungs out. God, did someone slip Coke in the Coke? Pepsi. Sorry, they make it mighty clear that it's Pepsi. In any case, this theater is ridiculously over the top, but it's portrayed earnestly enough to keep this horrifying instead of corny. Maureen doesn't die until after she's climbed on stage like someone's got her name in their fucking mouth. The patrons finally
Alright, video over. I'm done. He had to go there. 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 Oh God, he had to go there. Oh shit. He had to go there. I somehow had fun hear somebody was taking minutes like that, but he went there. Of course, I see this. It's like the timing is right for me to watch certain videos. I will see this not too long after watching the Chris Rock, both Marlon Wayans and Chris Rock stand-up comedy special talking about this. Lord have mercy. He had to go here. God damn it. Oh man, damn. This is going to be lasting for a good while. Oh man, let me check my little man real quick. He's cool. Oh my God. Anyway, let's keep going.
They realize something's wrong when she gives out a banshee scream.
Yup. Hella dramatic.
Sidney Prescott is now a world-weary college student who has to fend off prank phone calls. It may just be apocryphal, but according to some, the original Scream caused a surge in use of caller ID.
Hi, did you know that caller ID use tripled after the premiere of Scream?
Wow.
The CBS Sunday night movies will be right back.
Wow.
Thanks, Drew. Sidney attends the fictional Windsor College, and while it's never stated in the movie, the screenplay says it's in Ohio. So I'll take that as canon until stated otherwise. Sucks for them. Haha, go blue! It's the same school Phil and Maureen attended before they were killed, and the same school Randy Meeks attends, since he followed Sidney there. To no surprise, Randy's a film major, and the conversation his class has makes me cringe out of my
skin. Look at it, you got Josh Jackson as well too, Dawson Creek, but still.
It's fine when they start a
it's like star power from major roles, short role like Jada and Omar, to even appearances like Josh Jackson and Portia de Rossi and many others.
A discussion about the merits of sequels.
Stab 2?
And the fun part, the guy in the middle right there with the red sweat little shirt next to Josh Jackson. I could be, I'm trying maybe wrong or right, but I think he was on Sleepaway Camp 2. He was in the Sleepaway Camp 2. One of the guys that got killed that was dressed as Jason that she killed. Oops, sorry. But yeah, I think I'm wondering that's him though. So we got some low key fellow horror kill count veterans in this video too.
Haha, go blue! It's the same school Phil and Maureen attended before they were killed, and the same school Randy Meeks attends, since he followed Sidney there. To no surprise, Randy's a film major, and the conversation his class has makes me cringe out of my skin. It's fine when they start a meta discussion about the merits of sequels.
Stab 2? Who'd want to do that? Sequels suck.
But the specifics of their combo retroactively feel film bro.
I got it. The Godfather. Part 2.
It's like, I'm 15 and this is deep. The worst is how supposed film geek Randy gets a classic Aliens quote wrong.
Get away from her, you bitch. I believe the line is stay away from her, you bitch. It's film class, right?
Get away from her, you bitch!
The quote
Damn it, so Randy had it wrong the whole time, yep.
was written correctly in the script, but while filming, the 19-year-old Joshua Jackson mixed up his line and said the right quote accidentally. Jamie Kennedy adapted on the fly and gave the misquote as his line. It bugs the hell out of me. It wasn't messed up the first time they filmed this scene in a lecture hall.
Stay away from her, you bitch. That was a great line. One line does not make a movie great.
It was reshot later at UCLA, maybe because the first attempt didn't have Sarah Michelle Gellar or Joshua Jackson. Still had awful dialogue though.
I got it. Friday the 13th, part 20.
Gellar plays Cece Cooper, a fellow film student, alongside Mickey Altieri, played by Timothy Oliphant. Sid's friend group also includes her roommate Hallie and her new boyfriend Derek. Randy's not a fan of Derek. Wonder why.
And shout out to Chris O'Connell doing his thing on the The View.
Well, maybe you'd stand a better chance if you didn't randomly talk in a British accent, Randy.
A lot of shit happens at the movies. People get robbed, shot, maimed, murdered. Multiplex is just a very dangerous place to be these days.
No one knows why Jamie Kennedy did that.
He just did that in a take.
He just did that in a take. The media storm over the movie theater murders prompts the return of Hurricane Gale Weathers. Highlights edition. She's chasing numbers again after writing a successful book about the Woodsboro murders. She has a new cameraman, Joel, whom she berates like he were another...
Hold up. Hold up. I'm getting the code overloader, so a lot of parts probably got froze up. I do apologize, though.
And Joel.
But it's a little connection we got going on here, though. You know, Will Smith and Dwayne's good friends as well, too. And Will Smith, and he's in the same movie with his future TV wife, Lisa Neal, on the show All of Us. But anyway, let's keep going.
Whom she berates like he were another Kenny. Her ire even extends to the local press, like reporter Debbie Salt.
Begin quote. Great. Your flattering remarks are both desperate and obvious.
And Jackie.
I love the person in the background going, ouch!
Ouch! End quote.
Gail tries to...
And Jackie from Roseanne. Yo, for real, it took me a minute. Look, I kept, when I first saw this back then, I kept like wondering myself why she looked familiar. And I thought like, oh my God, that's Aunt Jackie. And she had a little bit of that crazy Aunt Jackie personality in this movie. You'll see in the way, just more. Well, I won't say too much till we get closer.
Score an impromptu exclusive.
Unless you saw the movie,
Sydney
you get
and
what I
an
mean.
old, not quite friend, Cotton Weary, her mother
Weary's.
Maureen's illicit lover, who was wrongfully imprisoned for her murder. Sydney saw him earlier being interviewed by screenwriter Kevin Williamson in a cameo. The exclusive ends in a familiar way for these ladies.
Did you get that on film? Yes, I got that on film.
Scream 2 may be the most serious of the franchise, but it still has plenty of funny moments. This one came from actors Elise Neal and Dwayne Martin ad-libbing.
Right? I ad-libbed that, you know, and I was mad at Dwayne that day because he said it right after me, trying to steal my shine. And like, how are you gonna repeat it? Then they wanted it. Oh my God, I came up with that. Yeah, I'm trying to come in on my part.
Gail takes.
That's probably why they work well together in All of Us. Hold on a second, I'm gonna check my little man real quick. Had to check on the little man real quick, but yeah, anyway.
Takes a stroll to clear her head and runs into Dewey, who's flown out to keep an eye on Sid. Poor guy's got a limp because of a severed nerve from that stab to the back. He's not keen to rekindle a romance with Gail, since she talked a bit of shit about him in her book.
Page 41. Deputy Dewey oozed with inexperience.
I love this speed bump in their relationship. He's so wounded by her betrayal, and while she doesn't feel bad, she does seem to admire his earnestness. Their chemistry is great, partly because the two actors had started dating in real life, but it's gonna take Gail more than puppy dog eyes to fix Dewey's deeply hurt feelings. Dewey has a much better reunion with Sid, where their sibling-like relationship flourishes. It makes sense. She was his little sister's best friend, and with Tatum gone, Sydney works as a replacement sibling.
Surrogate big brother.
The scene also introduces Dewey's theme, a musical leitmotif that perfectly suits his character. I sadly don't get to talk about music a lot on the kill count, because playing clips with music is an easy way to get copyright claims.
Yeah.
Marco Beltrami's work is important to the Scream series, though. The original film was the first feature-length score he composed, and he'd worked with Craven 6 more times, including on Screams 2, 3, and 4. I love his Morricone-inspired work in Scream, and the haunting choral voices of Sidney's lament. But Dewey's theme was not one of his pieces. It was originally composed by Hans Zimmer for the 1996 film Broken Arrow. Sidney gets invited to a sorority mixer by a pair of Stepford sister wives, Lois and Murphy. They're played by a pre-Arrested Development Portia de Rossi and Rebecca Gayheart, who would wind up in the Scream-esque urban legend the next year. Despite Sid's reluctance, Hallie drags her along for a night out with these super friendly sisters.
Sydney, you made it. Hi. No, I really mean that. Hi.
She really means that.
Hi.
This party features Everclear and Matthew Lillard in the background.
Oh,
he dropped by to visit Nev Campbell.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow. Good little point out, James. Yeah, shout out to Mac, man. Get this man, always sounds like, get a man flower, man. Range, talking about range, is almost like.
Hi.
This party features Everclear and Matthew Lillard in the background. He had dropped by to visit Nev Campbell on set, right before the two briefly dated. Not at the party is Randy's classmate Cece, who's sober-sitting the sorority house while her sisters rage. She's played by Buffy herself, Sarah Michelle Gellar, who had just finished filming the Williamson-penned I Know What You Did Last Summer. It doesn't take long for her to get a threatening phone call.
Look, do you want to leave a message for someone?
This is good. Like I said, what's crazy about it is like right after I know it's in someone like they getting all the horror fame in this one as well too.
Cece sees if someone's outside, but it's just Donnie, a fellow sister played by a young Marisol Nichols. Last seen on the kill count in Spiral in the steamy facial.
Oh.
Sorry, phrasing. Donnie.
God, I paused right in the right time too, but God damn it, James. God damn it, James.
leaves the door open, letting a ghost face in, so Cece is soon attacked by a killer with cruel intentions. He Scooby-Doo chases her upstairs, getting all sorts of shit thrown at him, including a bike.
Yep.
Ultimately, she gets thrown through a glass door and stabbed in the back. Ghostface then tosses Cece over the balcony, and Daphne goes splatly on the pavement below.
Fatality. But yeah, that's probably the bike. I feel like the bicycle one was like that little scene right there was inspired the chase scene in Scary Movie though. When I think her name was Sydney on this one, was throwing stuff at him down the stairs while every time he kept trying to chase her, including the grandmama. It was funny though. Hold on a second. But yeah, I was now rewatching it. That's probably what inspired that little segments on the Scary Movie though, because I think the first Scary Movie was based on both Scream 1 and 2. Yeah, it was.
News of the murder reaches the mixer, and the partygoers leave to check out the crime scene, including the greatest extra of all time. God, I love that guy. Look at his stupid face. Whoa! The crowd also includes this good boy, whom it looks like Liev Schreiber brought to set and insisted be in the picture.
Why can't he just walk down the steps? Can he hit a mark? He can hit a mark. Put a dog biscuit in there, hit a mark. Rudy, can you hit a mark? See that?
He was very excited the dog succeeded. This kind of chaos is old hat for Sid, so she decides to turn in for the night. Right after, she takes one last phone call.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
Oh, there we go.
Remember me?
A chase ensues, but Sydney manages to get to the back door unstabbed. Derek dashes inside to confront her assailant, but when Dewey follows suit, all he finds is a bloodied boyfriend, but not too bloodied, making him look mighty suspect in the long dark shadow of Billy Loomis.
You're lucky he didn't kill you.
Yeah, it's awfully convenient.
Gal and Dewey meet with Police Chief Hartley and figure out the connection between the victims.
Is Cece the girl's real name?
Casey. Casey Cooper.
As in Casey Becker?
With Phil Stevens representing Casey's boyfriend Steve and Maureen Evans standing in for Sydney's mom Maureen Prescott, the police officially determine they're dealing with a copycat killer. Well, Gal determines it. Give credit where credit is due. Either way, Chief Hartley must be proud, since he's played by David Arquette's real-life father, Louis Arquette. But Gal's investigative charms still haven't won Dewey back over yet.
Come on, Dewey. Smile just once.
Almost forgot that.
Killer.
Sydney sits down for a quiet lunch, but Derek ain't about to let that happen.
And so I just decided.
I kind of understand why James don't like this part. This was kind of cringe and cool. I will not lie. I think I low key kind of fast forward this part a little bit at times if I'm by myself and I feel like watching, I just usually just fast forward this part because this was so cringe. It was like, what the hell?
To myself. I'd hide it to myself.
What is he doing?
He's ruining the movie is what he's doing, by breaking out into song to prove his love to Sid.
I think I love you.
Don't do this.
Yeah, man, please don't. It's an acknowledged reference to Top Gun, where Tom Cruise does the same thing with a different song. It's awful in that movie, and it's even worse here. I can't stand it. I hate everything about it. I hate how long it goes on for. I hate Mickey's stupid dance moves. Fuck you all for clapping. It sucks so bad. And stop conducting, dude. It's so cringe. This Partridge Family song had to be sung by Jerry O'Connell during his audition. Personally, I might have just passed on the part.
Right.
The cast hated doing it as much as I hate watching it.
None of us really like that song.
I'm glad y'all.
This shit. You can tell O'Connell would rather be hiking towards a dead body.
I mean, I did the best I could.
Yeah, you did, when you weren't stepping on the wrong table. At the end of this garbage, Daryl gives Sid his fraternity letters, which they say is a frat faux pas. I don't know if that's real or not. It's all Greek to me. With that cafe-tastrophe over, we check in with Randy and Dewdrop, who's drinking a milkshake, just like he had his little ice cream cone in the original. Dewey the Dairy fan. The two watch a scene from Stab on TV, where Billy Loomis is played by Luke Wilson. I guess because of Bottle Rocket? I love how they recreate the hilarious end of that
Tori
scene.
Spelling plays Sid.
Stupid.
They mentioned that in Stab, Dewey's played by David Schwimmer, co-star to Courtney Cox in Friends. As for Sydney, she's played by Tori Spelling, which was mentioned as a potentiality in the first Scream.
I see you as a young Meg Ryan myself.
Right.
Thanks, Dewey. With my luck, they'd cast Tori Spelling.
Randy once again explains the rules of a horror movie, but this time as they specifically pertain to sequels.
Number 1, the body count is always bigger. Number 2, the death scenes are always much more elaborate. More blood, more gore.
As always, David Arquette is hilarious in how specific and unique his acting is.
Yep.
Maybe you are a suspect.
Well, if I'm a suspect, you're a suspect.
You have a point.
Sydney tries to back out of the leading role in her school's play. I've never loved this Agamemnon subplot, written by Craven during one of the on-set rewrites. But I do like the thematic resonance of Sydney playing Cassandra, the Oracle whose warnings were always ignored. It also gives us a cameo by the late David Warner as her teacher, last seen on the kill count in The Ice Cream Man. Rest in peace. He doesn't believe in bad omens.
And also, I'm always a fan of him because of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, the professor.
He tells her the show must go on. During rehearsal, Sydney
The
gets screaming
doctor.
once the fake knives start flying and the
scientist.
hooded faces start ghosted. She runs off stage to weep in the wings, where Derek all of a sudden appears. With that killer boyfriend, Shadow of Billy, still looming over her, Sydney breaks up with Derek. She ain't about to let no second Lion King ruin her pride. Dewey and Randy meet up with Gal and Joel, who's gotten nervous since learning that Kenny was killed. The specifics don't really matter to him.
Gutted / the guy ain't in the union no more.
He leaves to grab a coffee, and the others get a phone call.
I'm not interrupting anything, am I? You three look deep in thought.
This, I ain't gonna lie. This one hurt. This broke my heart. This one broke my heart. This one broke my heart right here. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll say it. But this one broke my heart. Breaks my heart.
It sounds like the killer is watching them, so Randy stays on the line while Dewey and Gal assault every student with a cell phone on the the quad. Windsor College was.
I was he kind of played the part. He's like, can I help you? when Dewey had him on the wall, that crap me yells every time. He's like, hold on, can I help you? Jesus.
Played by Agnes Scott, a private women's college in Metro Atlanta. It provided most of the exterior and interior locations. Beautiful campus. Ghostface teases Randy and says he'll always be the geeky supporting character, never the MC.
Fuck you!
Yup.
Unfortunately for Randy, the call is
come here! Had to do it, but
no one hears him struggling over these b-boys blaring Cottonmouth Kings. I listened to an embarrassing amount of Cottonmouth.
Yeah, the Suburban Light joint was tough too. RP the daddy, what's his name? The first guy. I think he passed away.
Kings, and was kind of excited to find a music video of theirs on the Scream 2 Blu-ray. By the time Gal and Dewey find him, Randy's become the first legacy character to die. Poor little hot dog got ketchup to death. Yeah, let it out, Gal. Don't relish in it.
And my man passed out, but this one hurt me. So I gotta do it properly. R.I.P. to my man Randy. May his legacy been carried on by his niece and nephews, his twin niece and nephews. If you know, the two twins, the twins on the newer Scream 5 and 6. I didn't see 6. Don't say shit, cause I'm already scared that his nieces might get got or nephew. But I was glad they survived, especially the nephew. I thought the nephew was gone, but I'm glad they both survived. But they carried on the legacy as well too, especially the niece though, with the Randy personality as well too. But anyway, but R.I.P. to my man Randy, man. A very hurtful kill right there, for real, man. It was.
Threatening instant message in the library, scrambling her security detail, Officers Andrews and Richards. Their names are taken after the kid actors in Halloween, Brian Andrews and Kyle Richards. They do a shithouse job, leaving Sid alone so she can get jumped by Cotton Weary. He's eager to step into the spotlight by doing a talk show sit-down with her.
We're talking primetime, Sid. You, me, and Diane Sawyer.
Understandably, she refuses. Also understandably, Cotton's gotten a little weary of being labeled the bad guy.
I mean, come on, Cindy, you dragged my name through the mud. Everybody thinks I'm some kind of psycho killer, and all I'm asking for is one little fucking Diane Sawyer interview to maybe get my side of the story straight.
He just wants everything illuminated. I love how Cotton Weary was brought back for Scream 2.
He was just a throwaway character in the first film, and we never thought we'd see live again.
We lucked out that Liev Schreiber was cast for this single shot of him in Scream 1.
All I had to do was to get out of a car and walk up a flight of stairs. It was one of the easiest jobs I'd ever done.
Cotton's so interesting, an awkward guy who's been profoundly affected by being wrongly accused. I love how he has a decent point here, but is way too aggro explaining it. It gets him arrested, but he's released due to lack of evidence. Sydney doesn't know who to trust anymore, since after all,
everybody's a suspect!
Except Randy, because he's dead. In fact, his death prompts Joel to be the smartest horror movie character ever. Not wanting to go the way of Kenny, he straight up leaves the movie.
Hold on. For folks like us who they have this their stat about us always getting killed in horror films. The smartest black man ever, I think, and also this prompted the parody part on Scary Movie with the black news saying white people get killed. Let's get the fuck out of here. This, I think that was stemmed off of this though, but. Between him and Rod Diggers, almost like. Anyway, let's keep going.
Which was an idea Dwayne Martin had and pitched to Craven.
He goes, how would you leave? I said, cab. He said, you want to leave by taxi? I said, yeah. He said, all right.
And that's exactly what he does.
Yep.
Randy's death also hits Gail like hell, causing her to verbally lick Debbie Salt. Salt's been around seasoning some scenes, and even casting suspicions towards the story-seeking Gail.
Well, it just seems to me that if the killer is repeating what happened in Woodsboro, it's quite possible that the killer could be from Woodsboro.
But at this point, Gail wants to do the right thing without any regard for ratings.
I just want to find this fucker.
I really do.
That finally wins over Dewey, and the two take Joel's footage to the film school to try to find a ghost face in the grassy knoll. The home movies get them hot and heavy with each other, but they take a break when, hey, they take a break, Dewey, when they realize someone spliced the live feed into the footage they're watching. It ain't Tyler Durden in the projection booth, it's a non-union editing ghost face, motherfucker! In the ensuing awesome chase scene, which is always a highlight of Screams.
I gotta say this a little bit though. It's like, you know, the reveals is interesting. It's just how and who was what. Until sometimes they gotta reveal themselves or who did what at times as well too. Especially around towards the reveal of this one. It's just like they're so good. It's so good how the whole thing going. Not realizing that certain ones is somewhere doing certain things though. Like, you probably not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about, but like the way they have the ghost face being appearing and everything, you'd be like, especially on the last one, 5, you'd be like scratching who was what, who was there and who was what, and we except for 3 zip, but anyway, still 3 is kind of like, you know, kind of really puzzling right there to the end, but let's keep going though.
Dewey ends up in a soundproof booth where he's stabbed in the back once again. Gail watches helplessly, and then Ghostface pulls his classic disappearing act. When Gail runs into a bloodied Cotton in the hallway, she's convinced she's found the killer. She even lets Debbie Salt in on the scoop.
The killer is Cotton fucking Weary. Cotton Weary.
Elsewhere, Derek bids Sydney a farewell as she departs with Hallie to safer shores. He's quickly attacked by hooded figures, but they ain't ghost faces, they Greek faces, here to haze Derek for giving Sydney his frat letters. You know,
frat stuff.
They have no king but Caesar, crucify him! Yeah, and make his penis shotgun a beer. Heads up, little buddy! When Sydney's police escort stops at a traffic light, Ghostface sucker punches Anders through the window, then sucker slices his neck open. Splurt! Richards takes a beating, but pops up to play the hero.
Fucked up.
Ghostface rides the whip when the killer floors the gas. The new hood ornament tries to get a shot off with his gun, but his wild ride ends in hell when his head is pipes. Ooh, baby, that driver's batshit. God, those final
he was shaking too.
Seriously disturbing. Look at his little hand wiggle.
He got
Ghostface.
He got fucked up. I would be surprised out of all the that been the Golden Show, because I think I watched it when I was like watching my own as a Kill Count, the original one, but I think that was the ended up being the Golden Chainsaw.
Anyway. Out, giving Sydney and Hallie the chance to escape the back seat. This suspense sequence wasn't in the
He's still asleep. He's a heavy sleeper like his daddy.
The script. Craven said they came up with the idea on set. That means Neve Campbell had to do this back-bending stunt without any preparation.
Nice.
But she always loved the physical aspect of playing Sydney, and credits her history as a dancer for her athleticism.
Man, and same that they didn't give enough money for her to come on 6. I gotta find out how they're gonna play this out. Hopefully they don't kill her off. They just, you ever saw it, shut it up. But hope they don't kill her off. Hope they just put her on hiatus just to the next film or something like that. But anyway, because God, I said shut it up because God knows when I'm going to get to see it. Because one, you know, my wife to watch horror, and God knows when we're gonna go to the movies again with my man right here. But let's keep going.
Sid nearly unmasks the killer, but has to abort the mission when she slips out a little toot. I still think it's dumb she doesn't
that again.
it, and she does.
Hold up. I was like, I know you ain't trying to film spoil the film, but I was like, don't do that again.
Does too after she and Hallie escape down the street. She runs back to fix the mistake, only to find that the fender-bending Phantom ain't in the car no mo. Instead, he's right behind a clueless Hallie.
What?
Whom he stabs to death in front of Sid and drops her body to the ground. Hallie feels a little underutilized to me, maybe because she was originally supposed to be one of the killers before the extensive rewrites.
Oh, and that explains that little weapon interesting right there though too. But that explains a little tidbit from Randy. If you watch the movie, Randy put her as a suspect too, calling her Candyman's daughter. But nice little interesting reference right there, man. This is why I love Dead Meat, man. They put on some information behind some information that you would not believe, man. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, let's keep going.
Back to campus, where a siren song lures her into the theater. On stage, she's jump scared by a Jesus Christ superstar, Derek, bound and boozy from that hazing session earlier. Before she can untie him, she's stopped by Ghostface, who reveals himself to be Mickey.
Surprise, Sydney.
I mean, I guess, but mostly because I had forgotten that character existed.
Yeah, the thing about this though, I showed this to an ex of mine. We watched it, and she kind of like, who the fuck was he? Like, for real, he was like not as relevant in this whole film, but I will say, not saying I got love for killers, but his little monologue for why what is like, I will say that he kind of low. Much unlike most, I say Stu was like the craziest one. He low-key kind of got Stu a little bit beat on the crazy meter though. But like he said, yeah, it was like okay. So who the fuck was he? They had to look. You had to rewatch. This is like one of the ones you had to rewatch and remember who he was. Like, oh, that guy. Okay, but yeah.
Dude literally hasn't been in the movie since 5 minutes ago when he was waving his arms around like a jackass. Timothy Oliphant tries his best to save this lame reveal, but Mickey's still just a second-rate stew.
Surprise, Sydney.
Mickey implies that Derek has been his partner in crime all along. The frat bro asks Sydney to stand by him, but she's unable to bring herself to trust him. As she's frozen in hesitation, Mickey plugs a hole straight through Derek's broken heart. Mickey sucks as a reveal, but it is downright evil the way he makes Sid feel guilty for suspecting Derek right up to his death.
You should really deal with your trust issues, Sid.
He reveals he's got a case of the crazies with a harebrained homicidal scheme to get caught.
Right.
Then he'll bask in the media frenzy and blame his murder spree on horror.
Yeah, who? Like, seriously, this is why I say he's a little, he said he's like a second-rate stew. I think like he got a little bit of the crazy, beat by the inch on Stu though. Who the hell thinks about wanna be called just to have a stutter trial? Cause like the OJ Simpson, like that's gotta be some psycho shit right there. He said, no, Billy's was sick for trying to get away with it. Mickey's a sick foot that want to get caught, and he wanted to get caught, have the star trial and all that. I'm like, you gotta be a psycho ass to think of some shit like that, for real. That's why I say, in my opinion, he's like an inch ahead of Stu in the crazy meter though. But Stu is just crazy though. But still,
killing people to become famous is a sadly prescient motivation that resonates with earlier dialogue about life imitating art.
You can't blame real-life violence on entertainment.
Hello, the murderer was wearing a ghost mask, okay? Just like in the movie, it's directly responsible.
No, it's not.
This commentary also helped Scream 2 with the MPAA.
The opening, they felt, was an excellent commentary on the nature of horror movies and that we were being responsible by making that in some way.
There's still one elephant in the room though, who might be working with Mickey as a second ghost face. Turns out it's Gail Weathers. Nah, just kidding. It's crazy-eyed Debbie Salt, whose real name is
Mrs. Loomis?
That's right. That lady is
Billy's mother.
Scream 2 originally had a very different ending, back when it was filmed as Scream the sequel, before Miramax demanded a title change. Mrs. Loomis was always the primary primary antagonist, but at first she had 3 accomplices: Derek, Hallie, and Cotton Weary. When that draft got leaked, revisions and secrecy followed. A fake script was
So they was gonna have Cotton Weary be a killer, and they was gonna have a boyfriend be a killer, but I would've been cool with I wouldn't have been cool with Cotton Weary because it's like after all that, really. The boyfriend seems too, like, again, cliche. Like, come on. Like, I would say let it be her and her roommate. But like I said, but I'm okay with just her and her roommate being accomplices. I mean, it's just 2 female killers. That'd be cool right there too. But cause people like to do shit they're still doing today, leak shit out. They ruined it, and we got Mickey, who barely been in the movie as much, to be the other killer. Although, like I said, he has a little bit of a step up in craziness by an inch on Stu. But for real, like I said, I wouldn't like it if it was Cotton Weary, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest, because it's like after all of that, you still want to be the killer. I guess maybe as revenge for getting him accused of being killed. Like, but to me, it's like, come on, dude. You did all that to clear your name to do this to get revenge. No, and then her boyfriend being there, it's like typical. It was like, come on, let's already they already had it on the first one, so I understand that rewrite. So I would have been cool with being her roommate and Mrs. Loomis being the accomplice, but like I said, the script got leaked, fucked it up, and we got Mickey. That's right. Like I say, the only silver lining of Mickey I'm okay with is that he's a sick fuck that want to get caught. But anyway, let's keep going.
Written, which was also leaked. Scripts were printed in a way to prevent photocopying, and most people's scripts had the last act largely blacked out.
Or I remember seeing a lot of blacked out pages in my script. So I thought I might be wearing one of those.
Laurie Metcalf's hunch was right, and the matriarchal murderer was foreshadowed earlier by Randy.
Mrs. Voorhees was a terrific serial killer.
Like Pamela, Mrs. Loomis.
Like I said, yeah, that was a good reference. Like I said, with him mentioning that her roommate Hallie was been the killer as well too, calling her came in daughter. So that would have been good right there too. But again, because assholes, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna literally say assholes being asshole and doing dumb shit, fucking shit up by leaking shit out. We had to change it, and we got Mickey, who barely been in the movie, but made up by having his crazy motive. But I will say that. But still, I would have been okay with her roommate being the other killer. Not me. I actually would have been okay with it. I would not have been okay with Cotton Weary because, like, after all that, why you want to be the killer now? And her boyfriend, no, because it already was done in the first one. Why do it again? Why have her go through that bullshit again? So it was genius that he was suspected, but if they went along with it, fuck no. That's why I'm glad it took too long for those who watched 5 that they kind of did it again in 5. So there's that.
Wants to avenge her son's death, so she plans on killing Sydney and enlisted Mickey online to help her. As for Mickey's plan, she knows it's dumb as shit, so she turns on him and shoots the loose end. The psycho cinephile lets off a shot that hits Gail in the tum-tum. She stage dives into the theater pit for pretty much the rest of the movie. Unlike Mickey, Mrs. Loomis is a great Ghostface reveal, especially because Laurie Metcalf plays her as delightfully unhinged.
I'm sick to death of people saying that it's all the parents.
Yeah, we got when Aunt Jackie from Roseanne will be as a killer, because Aunt Jackie was a mess on Rose. I think that was her name. I want to make sure that's her name. I could have sworn it's Jackie. I want to make sure that is her name. My mom asked me about my nephew sleeping. Let me double check real quick. Google acting stupid. Yeah. I want to make sure that was her name. Aunt Jackie Roseanne. Yep, Aunt Jackie. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting the killer version of Aunt Jackie. Aunt Jackie was hella eccentric on Roseanne, so they picked the right person to play this role, and she played the hell of it though. Not condoning her as a villain, but she played the hell of that role. Put like that.
It's fault. It all starts with the family. want to blame someone, why don't you blame your mother?
Sidney manages to break away with a breakaway bottle before fighting firepower with fake fire. God, this part is dumb as hell too. What kind of antagonist gets defeated by college drama department props? What are you doing, Sid? Trying to scare her away with noise? She ain't a bear. Their struggle is interrupted by a stray gunshot from Cotton, whom Sidney quickly catches up and introduces.
This was better for Cotton to be like the somewhat unsung hero. That was better for him. Like I said, making him the killer would have been dumb, in my opinion. This was better.
Deuces to Crazy Eyes Deb. Mrs. Loomis tries to convince Cotton to let Sidney die, but he's gonna base his actions on how they best benefit him.
Bet you that Diane Sawyer interview's looking real good right about now.
Since Sidney would take Diane over Diane, she accepts the offer. Cotton shoots the homicidal housewife, ensuring that Lady Bird will grow up an orphan. Sidney grabs the gun and gets jump scared by Gal, who says the bullet just bounced off her ribs. Well then, nice of you to help back there, Gal! Since this ain't these ladies' first rodeo, they're suspicious of Laurie Metcalf's death face.
They always come back.
But it's the Deadwood that ain't Mickey's still got some kicky in him. They quickly gun him down, sending his body tumbling upstage. Or is it downstage? I can never remember. It was a justified shooting though, so Sidney has nothing to worry about.
Bam!
That one was closer to a cause for concern. Hope Sid gets some therapy after this. The paramedics arrive alongside Joel, who comes back to cover the night's events. Gale can't be bothered though, after spotting Dewey doing the same old back jab Jesus routine he did in the original. Instead of filing a report, Gale picks her heart over her job and rides off with the Deuster in the ambulance. Sidney is swarmed by reporters, but she directs them to Cotton Weary instead, calling him a hero and giving him the 15 minutes of fame he's been craving. The movie ends with some 90s post-grunge as Sidney walks away to, wait, where is she going? Literally all her college friends are dead. How many co-eds received a deadly...
Yeah, that was a better ending than having him be the unsung hero in the film instead of being the accomplice. Like I said, they would have went with that. If I was like around the time I got too into the Scream and they would have did it, I'd been pissed. Everything as well too. Like I said, because like I told you before, I watched before I wasn't fully understanding the whole Scream concept. Everything I was into the kills and the actions and all of that stuff. I didn't know the full concept of it till I watched them on them back to back and everything, and then slowly getting 3, which was okay, but anyway, yeah, if I find out that they would make Cotton, around the time I was fully understanding that they made Cotton the killer, I'd been pissed. I'm beyond that, I'd be kind of pissed as well too. Same with the boyfriend too, but like I said, they did right. I mean, they had to stick with Mickey, but it was like okay, but with a little bit of a somewhat of a made up of with his motive, but still.
Degree at sequel school? Well, I want to tell you, but this morning I woke up with this feeling I didn't know how to deal with.
God damn it.
And so I just decided to myself I'd hide it to myself.
Don't you fall, James.
Never talk about it. And didn't I go and shout it when you asked for a kill count? Let's get to the numbers! Let's get to the numbers!
Oh, Zori and Chelsea.
Isn't that what the show
Of course, Zori
is
would put Bunny on him.
Though it's much more nowadays, I still always gotta say, let's get to the numbers! 10 people died in Scream 2, with the victims 6 men and 4 women, giving us these sequel slices of pie. Sure enough, Randy was right. The second installment had more kills than the first, 3 more. With a runtime of 120 minutes, that gave us a kill on average every 12 minutes flat. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Officer Williams. It's easily the goriest death in
it is.
And the post twitching is the cherry on
right.
Dome Machete for lamest kill will go to Hallie.
Yep.
Since it's a basic slice and dice with an exceptionally dumb build-up.
What?
You heard me, and that's it. Scream 2 was released in 1997. The original trilogy would be capped off with Scream 3 in 2000, which I'll look at next week. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count recount on Scream 2.
Cool. This was a good video, and I feel like I was more a lot of ends. Like I told you, this is out of all the Scream, this is one I watched the most, cause this was like really the first one I seen before I like really got into Scream like that. Cause it was like played everywhere, and like people, my friends, family who had pay per view, and it's played everywhere. We ended up watching a lot of times. So yeah, and the fact that but in rewatching it and then hearing the ideas about stuff and everything got me into it though. So this was a good one for sure though. So I can't wait to see the when I get to the other recounts of the Scream as well too. But other than that, this was good as always. If you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You've been chilling with me and my little boy right here, TJ. He's been knocked out asleep the whole time. I'm surprised he didn't wake up as loud as I was. He's a heavy sleeper like his daddy. But anyway, it's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.